Live TV, welcome. This is the live Pittsburgh Sportsline TV show in the BP TV studios. Thanks for watching our live show again. We appreciate it. We've been doing it since October 11th, which is not my birthday, 2011. I'm Al Levine, the Talking Machine, Smoking Jim Frazier, Chip Hayner, and Nick Callis. And thank you for watching us on Comcast 7, only in Bethel Park. Verizon 32 in Bethel Park, all the way from Nemacolin, all points between in Pittsburgh, all the way to Cranberry, Wexford too. So thank you for watching that. Thanks for all the likes on Facebook, 6931. We appreciate that. And Smokin' Jim celebrated an undocumented birthday on July 17th. I've never seen any proof of it. It's on his Facebook page. We have no proof when he was born.
Wait, we might. Hold on.
We do have proof that he was born.
Well, we know he was born. I have to share this, folks. Smokin' Jim's mother, I always ask what year when he puts a black and white Pittsburgh Post-Gazette picture of him and other papers. I always go, what year? His mother said, if you want to know, how much would you pay? So I said $1.
How about?
And she put back Smokin' Jim's favorite line, LOL. So I still don't know.
How about this? Wait, how is that possible? Basic info: male, interested in women, and then July 17th birthday, but there's no year. How'd you get away without putting a year in there?
You don't have to. You can put a blank in. You can put blank.
What?
Yes.
I think we should start a GoFundMe page to pay off his mom.
Yes. Yes. So this is a great cake from Bethel Bakery, and I have to share my story. His birthday was last week. I didn't want to get a cake before his birthday because we don't even know if it's legit. So I figured I would wait till afterwards because he's kidding about my birthday all the time. So I go there and I go, I'd like to order a cake. And a real nice lady behind the counter, been there for years, she goes, we can't, and you can't order a cake. You need a 48-hour notice to order a cake. And she goes, maybe we have cakes here right in the front here. And I go, well, I have another problem. My BFF is so picky, and he talks about black and white, but he likes white batter cakes. So a young girl, probably 16 years old, is smiling, and she's pointing behind the lady to this cake.
The Levine
and
point.
She had the Levine point at Bethel Bakery. And I interrupt the lady. I go, you can just stop because I have my cake. She goes, is this okay? I go, we're going to feed about 6 to 8 people. We cut big slices, and it's white batter, so I'm going to buy it. She goes, what do you want on it? I go, happy birthday, Smokin' Jim, and that'll be it. So she puts, you want it ING? She writes it out, and I go, no. On the paper, I go, no. I go, put IN apostrophe, Smokin' Jim. And I go, his name is Smokin' Jim Frazier. She goes, I'll make the cake. No lie. She goes, I'll make the cake for Smokin' Joe. So I tell her, I go, we have this in public because we do a TV show. And I gave her my card. You know, I always hand my card out, Nick. You know that. So and she goes, when's it on? So if you're watching the lady, I can't mention her name, and she's even older than me. I said I wouldn't mention her age. Thank you very much. And the young girl, I didn't even ask her name. She had the best point in the business. And thanks to John Walsh, who the owner and his family's owned it for a couple generations. They put out great cakes, and they have great employees. And we're going to start cutting this cake. Smoking Jim, do you want some with the beach, or do you want, because that's the extra icing, I can cut right in here.
Yeah, give me some of that white icing.
All right. Well, there's some white here, and I'll cut you a piece right out of here, and we'll try to get it on a plate. Look, I got plates, spoons, everything.
Let's go.
Can Nick eat cake?
I can't eat cake.
Okay.
Not today.
Thanks, machine. That looks good.
This is Smoking Jim.
Chip, make yourself useful, brother.
And then,
Oh, so I'm useless now.
then I'll get Chip here, get a nice slice. He likes chocolate, so this one shell has chocolate.
There you go. Yeah, boy.
I know Chip.
Down with the brown.
I know Chipper. Put that extra icing. I know he likes his icing.
Oh, yeah.
It's all buttercream.
What are the odds that I can get a part of that starfish? Is that all right?
Here's good odds right now. Watch this. Who's in charge of cutting? Folks, this is live TV. Chip, I may not be holding the knife proper, but I've done a whole career with a knife like this.
We can't forget Anthony.
Well, Anthony's next.
Yeah, he's going to get the rest.
Yeah. There, Nick, how did I do?
Oh,
You
that's
got the
great.
starfish.
Love that.
3/4 of the starfish here. Starfish, Nick. All right, Anthony, come on in. We'll get you a nice little cut here.
You like white cake?
They do now. like I've told friends of mine, the best meals I've ever had are free. I don't even know what I ate. But they're the best meals. So you guys enjoy the cake. I bought and paid for it. Here's a spoon for you. Anthony, now I'll cut my piece. I'm going to get a part of Smoking Jim's name there, since it's
All right.
Jim, it's not Joe. We'll get that on there.
And I
Here.
want you to take the rest home for Drew.
You sure you don't want a slice or
No,
something?
I want Drew to have it. That's my man.
Wait till he hears that. He'll be pumped up. That's my boy. Pass some napkins down this way.
Okay.
I may need to get a little. All right, we got a little distracted. Chip, thank you. I got to wipe up a little because I messed up my phone. Thanks, Nick, for figuring out I touched that camera. I pulled it out of my pocket
First
after.
lesson of electronic media: don't touch the lens.
Well,
Ever.
I just turned 65, and I don't really worry about that. But thank you for your help. That's why you're here to help me.
Yes, sir.
Any memory loss so far? No.
I forget who you are. And I had to check Facebook to make sure I knew your real birth date.
I seen somebody that asked you on Facebook, and we got to improve that Smoking Jim's birthday.
You know who asked that?
Who was that?
Tony from Chick-fil-A.
Oh, that was Tony. Okay.
It goes by Anthony.
Okay.
Because they only call him Tony at work.
Okay.
And I met him at work. Hold it. I got to do my obligatory bite of cake on air. Here you go, folks.
All right.
Very good. A little bit of humor. All right, we got some people I like to promote. Look at that, Olive Oil's Pizzeria. They sponsor our show. They're at Hillcrest Shopping Center. They sponsor us with an XL pizza, some plates, and a steak hoagie, cut in 6 slices. And we appreciate it. They have great Italian food, salads. Even they have desserts and soups at times, which I've had. They're great. Check them out, 412-831-1900. Give them a call. Next up, we end each show with Stay Joey Strong. I got the mark that Anthony put here last week. Look at that camera work.
Wow.
All right, we end it with Stay Joey Strong. Poor Joey died at 9 years old, 1 month before his 10th birthday 7 years ago. And they've raised over $100,000 and sent it to the doctors to find a cure for the dreaded brain cancer, DIPG. It's a death sentence to kids. They live less than a year after they're diagnosed with it. It's a terrible way. There's a pic with him before DIPG and after he got it and was getting near death. And it's just a terrible, horrific disease. So go to Joey Fabus Childhood Cancer Foundation, donate $1. check out September when there's a Joey Fabus 5K 1 mile run. So you have to check that out. Next up, Bethel Park Historical Society's Schoolhouse Arts and History Center, 2600 South Park Road. And their 1905 schoolhouse, all remodeled, new windows, new roof, new cupola for the bell that's original there. So they have dance studio, they got an artist there, they have a library, they got historical Army military uniforms, and they do different events throughout the year. So check that out. And they also have my favorite tea place, Reginald's Coffee. A friend of mine just called me today, and she said, I go to that coffee place you recommended. I go, Reginald's. She goes, I love it. I'm there every week, and I sit out on their chairs out in the grass. So there you go. You guys head there, no doubt. Great place. And she goes, their coffee is better, no offense meant here, but better than Starbucks.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's my endorsement live today.
Shock the world.
And she was a guest on my show. Her name is Diane Underwood. She had the reverse aging energy spa, and she sold that.
Oh, that's my girl.
She sold that to another friend of mine, Diane Ford, who owns it.
I know Diane Ford, too.
Yeah.
Her son was
Very
a great
nice
football
lady.
Player. She's black.
Smoking Jim. Tony, if you're watching, the race card came out, and that was at the 12-minute mark. Another 501c3, BethelParkCommunityFoundation.org. They have money for you, and nobody like Smoking Jim. Even though it's his birthday, I got to tell the truth. They got no money for a habitual, degenerative gambler. Anybody that can bet $250 a day and tell you when they win and lose, there's a problem. But they have money from $100 to $5,000, so Smoking Jim has some envy there. And because he just lost that recently, but we don't want to get into that too deeply. And they have money for you. Go to their website, pull out an application. I'm a trustee on the board. Since we changed from Thursday nights, I'll be back at their meetings again. You come in there and say you heard it from Al Levine, the talking machine. I'll vote yes, that you get the money. All right, let's see what else. I got to put up Kathleen Miller. And she's a lady who has 17% kidney function. I had to get a transplant when I had 15% kidney function. And she's looking for a donor. And you can get that by, if you want to donate a kidney, which is admirable, like my son, living donors are the best to get for you. They help you live even longer with it, and most of them are very successful. You go to livingdonorreg.upmc.com. Again, that's livingdonorreg.upmc.com, and you get an application. They'll get back to you, and you have to give like 1 vial of blood, and they can see if you're a match for her and maybe somebody else that they can switch. Because I've heard of somebody donating a kidney for a parent and they weren't a match, and they went through the system and they got a kidney from somebody else, and the lady that wanted to give a kidney gave it to another person, so they helped 2 people instead of 1.
Great.
So it happens. So there's good stuff out there. Just check that out. And now for a little bit of humor here at the end. Notice this nice flyer. Dave Cable gave it to Anthony. Anthony gave it to me, and I'm showing you. I want you for BPTV. You can be on here eating cake like Nick and Anthony and Smoking Jim and Chip. And me, I'm going to eat when Smoking Jim's talking. So, because he likes to entertain us for about 10 minutes every opening.
Yeah, because it may take a while.
Right. I'll be able to drink. Here's my Lipton, little bit of lemon in my brisk tea. But you can be an intern here and a volunteer, and just tell them Uncle Al sent you. Call 412-831-3304, and we can hook you up. If you're in high school and you're interested in TV or radio or anything like that, this will help get you some experience. And you know, in this day and age, they want to know, what have you done? You could say you worked at BPTV. And then I'm not allowed to show this card, so I won't tease you. It's Skeet Service Station. He sponsors What's on Your Mind. They're a red, white, and blue station, 6103 Route 88. And I have to give Skeets and all the others. I just got a new used car. My RAV4 was on its last legs, had it for 3 years, and I didn't want to get it inspected because unlike Smoking Jim, I don't have $250 a day times 7, and I needed that money at least to put it into a used car, and it was 18 years old. So I moved up to a 2014 Honda CRV. I was never a Honda fan, but my daughter, who hated Hondas growing up, bought one 2 years ago, and she goes, "Dad, just get a Honda."
They run forever.
So
My mom drives a 2014 CRV. So there you go.
that's what I got right out there. It's silver, so Skeets, I won't be in there for my inspection on the 31st.
You know they sell them in Monroeville.
No,
Just
I
for
heard
this.
we called up to check because Smoking Jim is sort of naive.
Yeah, but he wants one with wheels.
Smoke. I gotta just get this point out while we're talking. Smoking Jim is what I call a little bit naive. He just says things. And CRVs, I went to the Honda on 19 here, South Hills Honda, and I go in because they said they had a couple CRVs. Guess how many they had? None. They were all sold. They called a half a dozen other dealers. Some of them lied, and they didn't have any.
Wow.
There were none around. I was there. They did have 2 when I called. Both of them were sold. I met a nice couple from Brazil. You know, I make friends.
Yes.
They were from Brazil. They're both professors at Pitt.
Wow.
They moved here because they like America. But on that happy note, we're going to go to Smoking Jim and ask him, what's on your mind besides your cake?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green, you got the C. Levine.
Hold it, I got one more thing.
Oh my goodness!
I got a little gift.
Ooh, you
He
know
got
I'm
hands.
gonna drop that pasta too.
Regifted.
My Italian stallion.
stop.
You
Stop,
know I
Chip.
love my Italians,
Chip,
brother.
stop.
Yeah.
Chip,
Oh.
stop. Don't do
Oh
that.
man.
He don't know.
$99. Thank you, Alameda. Oh, is that 99? That mean $99?
No. That means there's a lottery number that has to hit for that to pay.
Hey, thanks, Alameda Talking Machine. And I tell you what, we got the VIP of BPTV. And hey, Alameda Talking Machine.
Yes.
I always say, if you want gifts, get you some white friends. Hey, Chip, where's my present? But I tell you what, we had Chipper on PCTV 21. The man looked not a day over 39. He was so smooth looking on Zoom because Al Levine, the talking machine, will tell you, not everybody looks good on Zoom.
They say TV puts 10 pounds on you.
Well, you look great, and it was good to get some baseball talk. Unfortunately, my Wi-Fi was giving me some problems, so I was in and out. But hey,
Hey Luther, this is a new show.
yeah, hey Luther. But hey Chip, I think I smell a little moonshine in your jug. No.
No, just agua. Just agua.
But hey, Al Levine, the talking machine. Everywhere I go, people want to know. And that was our baseball thing. But hey, everywhere I go, whether it's Aldi's, whether it's Giant Eagle, whether it's Shop and Save, whether it's Piggly Wiggly, they say, give us your top 10. We want to hear a top 10, so I'm going to give a top 10 because I want to give the people what they want, and the people want Anthony's hair, and they want a top 10. So I'm going to give you my top 10 heavyweights of all time. And people
How'd you get the heavyweights from here?
and people like, huh? Everybody wants Anthony's hair. Yeah. And I tell you what.
It's only 21 this time.
Yeah. And I tell you what, everybody likes honorable mentions. So I'm going to give some honorable mentions. Jack Dempsey, Jerry Quarry, Ernie Shavers, Harry, the Black Panther Wheels. But here's number 10B, Tyson Fury. 10A.
You've already named 4 before you got into your top 10.
That was honorable mention. That
Okay,
was
but that was
outside
4.
the top 10.
Folks, I was trying to keep track, but that was 4.
10A, Jersey Joe Walcott. If this guy didn't go to jail, Ike Biabucci. How about 9A, Jerry Cooney. How about 8B, Larry Holmes. 8A, Joe Frazier. 7, David Tua. How How about number 6C, Vitaly Klitschko? How about 6B, Anthony Cassius Clay Joshua? How about 6A, George Foreman? Number 5, Muhammad Ali. Here's a question over here.
Is it really a top 10 if you
Top
have
10.
subsections in your
Top
numbers?
10. Top 10,
Yes.
brother.
Yes.
According to Smoking Jim.
Number 5.
Just let him go.
Number 5, the greatest, Muhammad Ali. Number 4, Mike Tyson. Number 3, Sonny Liston. Now everybody talks about Kimbo Slice fighting in the parking lot, but Sonny Liston was a bone crusher for the mob. He used to be like, "Where's Al Capone's money?" I count all knockouts, Al Levine, the Tiger Machine. How about number 2, Jack Johnson? How about number 1, B, Rocky Marciano, undefeated, hardest worker ever. Used to run 15 miles a day in army boots. And number 1, Cassius Clay. And that's my top 10 heavyweights of all time.
I got one question.
Yes, sir.
Even if a man changes his name,
Yeah.
how can he have 2 positions on your list?
Well, Cassius Clay and Muhammad Ali are 2 different fighters. Cassius Clay could float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Muhammad Ali was laying in the rope-a-dope. That wouldn't work against Marciano.
Okay, how can Muhammad Ali be the greatest
Yeah.
and not be number 1?
No, Cassius Clay was number 1 on my list.
But you said he was the greatest.
Yeah, that's what he calls himself. That's his nickname.
Okay.
The greatest.
So
he
the
calls
greatest.
himself the greatest.
So did
yeah.
So
Muhammad
the greatest,
Ali.
that means that everybody else follows.
No, that's his. I didn't say he was. This is the list. This is the list. He's number 5 on my list. Cassius Clay's number 1.
Folks out there, if you're more confused now, like I am, because I used to say that you need common sense. Now we have nonsense.
Well, there's 2 Floyd Mayweathers. There's Pretty Boy Floyd early in his career before he hurt his hands, and there's Money Mayweather. They were 2 totally different fighters.
No, there was the same Mayweather that ran from every contender that
Yeah,
had a chance of beating him.
There you go, Jim. I'm gonna eat my white cake.
Thank you, Smoking Jim.
Thank you.
Chip, after that, that's easy to follow because we lost 98% of our crowd. And they truly, the 2% that are with him, they just believe he loves them.
I'm not sure I've been confused after asking more questions.
Well, that happens. That's the
That's why
phenomenon.
you learn not to ask him.
Yes. Why do you think we go like
Just roll
this?
with it. Just roll
Chip
with
and I both go like this. We're ready to ask it. Put the arm down. And look at how quiet he is. This is the shortest opening of what's on your
you
mind in
put
2 years.
Pizza, steak hoagie, and a piece of cake.
Yes. You can't go wrong.
Connect the dots.
And ginger ale. And ginger ale. So, Chip, sorry it's so long. What's on your mind?
Well, of course, always the Pittsburgh Pirates are on my mind, but you know what? Also, the Pittsburgh Steelers are on my mind, and they made some
Whoa.
moves recently. I think the moves seem to make a lot of sense with very little risk involved. $4 million for a former Pro Bowl edge rusher.
Yeah.
If he comes back. Now, the only thing the Steelers need to guarantee an undefeated season is that good white cornerback.
Spot on, Chipper. Spot on.
So, what's on my mind? Last week I was, I had to take a night off. Work duties kept me away. So the Pittsburgh Pirates, so a week ago Sunday and Monday were involved in the MLB draft. And the Pittsburgh Pirates hit a grand slam in the bottom of the 9th inning. Oh, wait a minute. That was Saturday night. But no, they did it for the draft this year. And Ben Cherington put a plan in place, and they took who they felt was their number 1 person on the draft board, who ended up being Henry Davis, a catcher out of Louisville, which was an excellent pick for the Pirates because the Pirates don't have a catcher in their system. And, other than Jacob Stallings right now, they're real thin on catching. Somebody that happened to be the best hitter in college baseball last year. I don't see him being very long in the minor leagues. I expect to see him playing in PNC Park before very long. But what the Pirates what Ben Cherington ended up doing he ended up with the most amount of money to be able to spend in this year's draft. And what's that referred to is slot money. And for the first pick in the draft, the slot amount of money that could be spent was $8.4 million. And what the Pirates ended up doing was they ended up taking somebody in the first round that they were able to pay under slot value so that they could pay over slot for later draft picks. And what this did for the Pittsburgh Pirates in this year's draft was they actually got 4 of the top 32 picks listed by Baseball America, the listing agent. How one team can get 4 of the top 32 picks.
Explain it slowly for Smoking.
When there's 30 teams drafting is
Follow through.
a stroke of genius. Now, the slot money that the Pirates had, which was the most of any team, every cent of it will be paid. The Pirates, I believe, have got commitments for signing for 9 of their 10 draft picks.
Ain't bad.
They drafted a kid who would signed to be the quarterback at the University of Clemson, and he said that he's going to sign to play for the Pirates. They also signed a kid who made a commitment to Penn State to play football, and there's a really good chance that the Pirates are going to be able to pay him to get him to play baseball for the Pirates, and they're able to do this because they're going to play over slot value for him from the position he was picked in the draft because they underpaid in other areas. So paying under slot doesn't mean that the Pirates are being cheapskates or that Bob Nutting is going to pocket the money. The money that's the slot money they had, every cent of it has to be spent on the draft. So what the Pirates were able to do was they were able to get a wealth of good quality young players. Now, how many of these players are going to see the major leagues? That remains to be seen. Mm-hmm. But the more good players you get, the better off the better chance you have. Now, I heard some people, and I was on another show, and a person who I respect very much said that the Pirates should have taken Jack Leiter, who some people thought could have been the first pick in the draft, but there was no consensus number 1 pick.
Thanks for
through all the baseball experts were saying. Since there was no clear-cut number 1 pick, you have to think about this. What Cherington did made a lot more sense than taking a pitcher, because to take that pitcher, you would have had to have ultimately either paid over slot for him or used up all your money paying him, which would have not enabled you to pay for all the other players that you drafted. And think about this. Look at what the state of the Pittsburgh Pirates right now. We're 22 games under 500.
Is that all?
Do you think that the Pittsburgh Pirates are 1 starting pitcher away from being a contender?
No.
And the answer to that question...
Smoking Jim got
is
the
a
answer
resounding
right.
No. And the answer
He
is
got it right.
The answer is a resounding no. And what the Pirates needed to do...
Hold it. We got this Pittsburgh Sportsline first. On an opening segment by Chip, Smoking Jim and Chip agree. This is the first time ever on an opening. Sorry, Chip, but I just wanted to make this a momentous occasion because he said it.
But what the Pirates did was what made most sense for what the organization needs more than anything. They need to draft and develop players and get them ready to play in the major leagues. And
I appreciate your honesty on that. Yes.
The constant rhetoric that I hear is that they need to spend more money. Well, the geniuses that say that we need to spend more money, I say to them, spend more money on what and on whom. Because, everybody's got a great idea about what the Pirates need to do and how they need to go about doing it. I want to bring to a point one issue. In the last 40 years, every single ownership group that the Pittsburgh Pirates have done one thing in common. They've lost. The second thing that they've done in common is every single ownership group almost bankrupted the team and almost forced the team to move out of town. And why did they do that? Because they spent money on washed-up veteran free agents who basically collected paychecks. So, one thing that Bob Nutting has done since he has owned the team, there has never been once that the Pirates have missed payroll. There has never been once an inference that the Pirates were going bankrupt or that they were considering moving the team. So for all the people that claim about Bob Nutting not spending any money, he's operating the Pittsburgh Pirates the way they should be operated, like a business. A business has to make money, and yes, he now has better people running the organization and somebody with a track record of developing young talent and bringing them to the major leagues. And if you don't believe me, look what he did with the Red Sox. Look what he did with the Toronto Blue Jays. That's what's on my mind.
Chip.
Thank you.
Well, I, on a high note, it sounds like the Pirates going to have the best flag football team in baseball. But hey, did you hear that Eric Green got a son that's a great baseball player?
I did not.
Yeah, did you hear that? Did you
No.
guys- Eric Green, his son was supposed to be maybe one of the number one prospects. 6'3", 225 pounds. Unbelievable. Eric Green's son, yeah.
When is he going to be eligible for the draft?
I don't know. I thought he was. But
He didn't get all the details.
Yeah, I
but
didn't get all the details.
Where'd
but
you
great.
find flag football in there either?
Well,
I like
they had
that
two
enough.
football recruits, Clemson and Penn
they
State.
took,
man.
yeah.
He's creative. Thank you, Chip Hayner.
Good job, buddy.
Nick Callis, what's on your mind?
Well, first of all, I got some family watching today who came over to the house.
Your
and watching.
sister?
No. But I got my grandpa's turning 90 next month, or September. So that's about 2 months away. So
Happy birthday,
When's his
grandfather.
birthday?
September 6th.
Guess whose
Good
birthday
attitude.
Is that
that
right?
is? Yes.
How about that?
Yes.
All right.
Happy birthday,
So,
Grandpa.
yes,
Happy
I'll
birthday.
tip a cold one to him on my birthday. What's his name?
Patrick.
Patrick.
You can
Happy
tip a cold
birthday.
one to him now. You got moonshine in that jug.
No, I got
Well,
cold
he's
water.
Irish, too. So back to the point. And then my buddy Cedar's watching the house as well. It's not his birthday anytime soon, but actually, hold on. He does have a birthday in August.
Sears, happy birthday. What day in August?
I don't know exactly. I think
The
it's
19th is my dad's. So,
No, I don't think. I think it's
My
the 7th,
dad's
but,
August.
well, that's
second.
when we're doing boxing.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yikes. Well,
Shout out to you, Cedars.
Cedar, nice guy. But anyway, what's on my mind, sports related? I
Oh,
announced.
okay.
Yeah,
You're getting like smoking.
just
Go
shouting
ahead.
people out. Never. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all right. Welcome aboard.
I announced wiffle ball yesterday, and let me tell you something.
You'll do anything.
I'll do it. Of course I will. Why not?
With that Waysburg degree.
Yeah, he didn't even announce a gateway game.
At the right price, anything's possible.
Cash money.
But it's-
One worldly advice that I gave Nick is no matter what Smoking Jim and others say, make sure they pay. And it rhymes because it's
Before
true.
the game.
Yes.
Right.
'Cause you
That's
won't
why I
find
go
him
through.
afterwards.
That's why I go through my manager.
Out
Al
front,
Levine, the
yes.
If it's a ball game, he's going to be gone in the third inning anyhow.
And if he's announcing, he'll be in the third round. So, all right,
But-
carry on.
Yeah, but no, wiffle ball is super interesting. I didn't realize that there was a.
I loved wiffle ball.
There's a national association though. They got professional people playing this game, and I was watching some of the pitchers too. They spin the ball under or over.
Sure.
You know, I mean, I played baseball for a good amount of time, and I couldn't hit a pitch that they throw. The mound's 36
Really?
feet away from home plate, and they've got the walls are about 90 feet away from home plate. The fences, and these guys are hitting about 120 feet, which is
Wow.
pretty impressive for a wiffle ball if you know about it. It's
You
very
couldn't hit a
aerodynamic.
wiffle ball?
Smoking Jim, you couldn't. Hold on now.
Don't even.
I'm not
challenge
going
him.
to entertain that.
No.
You almost caught me in the trap.
No,
I
no.
snuck away.
I had to interrupt you. I put my hand here. No, there's no answer to
I promise they're
Smoking
not throwing them just like, here, let's hit it. We're 5 and 6 year old.
no.
No, they're professional.
Jim.
They're
How about underhanded? Here, Smoking. Here. Here, Smoking.
Hey, I never heard the hardest thing in sports is to hit a wiffle ball.
He never played wiffle ball.
he never played baseball.
Yeah,
So
thank
we know.
you.
So-
Now we know.
no, we don't. But no, if you check it out, the league that I announced for yesterday is in Washington County called Whiff is Life League. They got a YouTube channel. And then just look up professional wiffle ball games on YouTube at some point. It's really interesting to watch, and announcing it was pretty fun and something unique that I've done. But yeah, just
Congratulations.
one of those unique sports.
This guy is putting his wings out and he's flying. Thanks to Smoking Jim and some help I've given him. We're trying to get him out down the road.
Yeah.
And seriously, if anybody can recommend a career except hanging with Smoking Jim, he'll take it.
Kickball's hard to kick.
How about dodgeball?
It's hard to catch. Smoking Jim's on fire tonight. What's on my mind, first of all, we got a fan who met Nick and Dan from BPTV. His name is Tony Stepanovich at Chick-fil-A. He goes by Tony at work. His statement was, and hold your breath, even on Smoking Jim's birthday, he throws out the race card. How much cake did he eat to come up with that list of top 10? LOL. Tony, we salute you. We salute you. And by the way, Tony, I missed you the other day when my son and I went in for a Chick-fil-A biscuit breakfast.
Wow.
So we ate in there, and the fans that I've made there, they clapped and said, thanks for coming in, because you know I make friends all around. They were so happy to see us. And they said, you two look a little taller, because we were always sitting in our car. So we had fun there. And what's on my mind is, you know, I haven't been a huge fan of the Buccos. I watch them every once in a while. And I missed the grand salami that they had with the walk-off. And then I saw a stat, because I was watching the game one of the next days, and they said this was only the third time that this happened in Bucco history.
At PNC Park.
Was it PNC? No. Bucco history. I want to give you the years. They said this is the first time that 3 games in a row they scored over 4 runs in an inning. 1982 was the last time, and the first time was 1963. So this was the third time. You can check me, but Greg Brown was talking about that on one of the shows.
I'm gonna go with
but it was
the
third time.
I wasn't watching the shows because I was at the games.
No, I know, but no, but I was just saying what I heard there, and since I was broke down and watched the game to see if they could do it again, I see they scored 6 runs in the first inning. I know one of the craziest plays is when our first baseman missed the bag and chased Javier Baez to home plate, but this play rivaled that. The Mets pitcher went over to the foul line where I forget, I think Newman or somebody hit the ball, and it started foul, and it hit the white line. Now everybody that's Smoking Jim, everybody but Smoking Jim knows if the ball hits the white line, it's what?
It's a fair ball.
Thank you.
If a player touches it.
And the player touched the ball,
swatted it towards the
dugout wall, and then argued that it was a foul ball. And the Mets, I've never seen it except
while the ref was saying
the umpire
fair
said,
ball, fair ball.
The umpire
fair ball.
shouted fair ball. Here's what's amazing: the Pirate runners, we've seen them make many errors on the bases. The coach, third base coach, was going crazy, waving them all home. So even the guy on first scored, and while the Mets were playing like Smoking Jim, what do you mean? That's a foul ball.
Yeah,
they didn't do anything.
The ball was in play.
And then their coach comes flying out, bumps into the umpire, yelling at him, it's a foul ball. He throws him out of the game. Then he tries to attack him. And in baseball, we all know they hold you back, so you're not really going to hit anybody. So they threw him out of the game, and they scored 6 runs in the first inning.
Wow.
2-game suspension plus a fine.
Right.
Is what they got.
I was going to get to that. Yeah.
Manager?
And the interesting thing about Saturday night and Sunday day,
Right.
is the Pirates were losing 6-0 in the 8th inning, and came back and won 9-7.
Right.
And then they had a
Lay it on 'em.
They had a 6-0 lead and lost 7-6. That has only happened less than a handful of times.
Oh, I believe
in MLB
it. Yes.
history.
Yes. So you talk about how things happen, and we've seen it's been a crazy year for plays like that. And when I saw it, and I saw it going there, and the pitcher come over, I'm like, it just hit the line, and he slapped it right as I'm saying it to my son. He hit it, and it's a fair ball. And he goes, "What, Dad?" And all of a sudden, the Pirates are running like crazy, and we're just watching the game, and they're stopped there. What a great sight that was. So we're going to come back with some fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac.
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And I tell you what, because of the time and because my main man, High Diddle Diddle, Chip up the middle for a double. That wasn't here last week. I'm going to pay it forward to you, Chipper.
Okay.
See what happens when you mention white cornerback?
Yeah.
Way to go, Chip. We finally put the muzzle on smoking.
So, Saturday
It
night.
worked.
This
worked.
past weekend was a celebration of the 50th anniversary of one of the most significant sporting moments in my Pittsburgh sports history. The Pittsburgh Pirates winning the 1971 World Series. At the time the Pirates won the 71 World Series, I was an 11-year-old. Baseball was my life. I played baseball only 7 days a week.
Wow.
That's not bad.
We would play in the street. We'd play in a parking lot. We'd play in a ball field. We'd play with 5 people on a team. Okay, we would play ball all day, all night. We played Little League, and when the Pirates played the Orioles in 1971, most of the games were played in the daytime. And I was in 6th grade at Highlands Elementary School over here in Whitehall.
Nobody heard it.
And
I know where it is.
the people that went there did. And I can remember a friend of mine who lives in Texas now reminded me that one of our teachers wheeled this television in to watch one of the games. And I remember taking my dad's transistor radio, sneaking it out of the house with an ear.
Yeah, I remember those days.
And putting the radio in my desk, because we had the kind of desks that lifted up like this.
We
and
did
put it
too.
in, and listening to the games, and it was really something to see what's left of the team, and there was a really
In person too.
there was really moving ceremony on Saturday night. They paid tribute to the players that were no longer with us. Rennie Stennett was the most recent to pass away.
Yeah.
He was a rookie that year. But one of the things that the Pirates did is they introduced the players one by one, and they represented some of the stars of the team with members of their family. There was Willie Stargell's wife was there to tip her hat for when Willie was called. Roberto Clemente's sons, Roberto Jr. and Luis, were there to represent their dad. Danny Murtaugh's son and daughter were there to represent him. Nellie Bryles, his wife, was there. And there were some really, really poignant moments there. Dave Justy, who's is not in the best health right now, needed assistance getting out of the cart and getting into his chair. And, when they announced his name, his former teammates helped him get up so he could tip his hat. And then one of the last players that they announced was, of course, Roberto Clemente's best friend and Pirate catcher, Manny Sanguillen. And Manny's health is not the best right now either. And one of the most poignant moments there was just before they announced Manny, Roberto's 2 sons walked over, and one on either side of Manny, and they patted him on the shoulder and they said, "We got you." And they helped him get up and acknowledge the crowd, and it was really very
What a great
very
moment.
moving, very moving. So it was great to see that the Pirates recognize that 71 World Series team. Such an important part of my sports life. I mean, I collected the box scores out of the Pittsburgh Press for every game for that entire season. And I had them in a scrapbook. When my mother passed away about 10 years ago, cleaning out the house, I found the scrapbook. Unfortunately, it was so covered with mildew and mold that we had to throw it away.
Oh, what a heartbreaker.
But brought back some great memories, because every day I had to wait until my dad finished reading the sports page before I could take the scissors to the box score.
I understand.
So one of the things I wanted to talk about, obviously the player that I most idolized, and the only professional athlete that I ever idolized, the only professional athlete's jersey that I will wear with his number on it,
Joe
of
Gilliam?
course, is Roberto Clemente. And Roberto Clemente played in 2 World Series. 1960, I was 5 weeks old when
Yes,
the
you
Pirates
missed
won
it.
that World Series. I don't remember anything. I was,
5 weeks old.
I'm not going to say anything that's going to get me censored. But Roberto Clemente is one of the very few players who got hits in all 7 games of the World Series in 1960 and got hits in all 7 of the games in 1971. And just to give you an idea of his statistics for that for that series, let's see here. That is fielding stats, base running stats. His statistics: he played in 7 games in 1960, 29 at bats, 9 hits. He had a batting average of .310 for the 1960 World Series. 1971 World Series, Roberto, 29 at bats. He scored 3 runs. He had 12 hits, 2 doubles, 1 triple, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs, 2 base on balls, 1 intentional base on balls, struck out twice, a batting average of .414, which earned him World Series MVP for the 1971 World Series, and that was the pinnacle of his career. It was the following September that Roberto became the 11th man to get 3,000 hits, which Smoking Jim claims he was there. But
No proof. Just like his birthday.
But be that as it may, it brought back a lot of great memories. It was a great season. Couple of the things that I think that should be brought to people's attention. I think these are conversations that should be had. Action should be taken on it. I saw 2 players there that I feel one player and one former manager that most deservedly belong in the Baseball Hall of Fame.
I agree.
The first one is Danny Murtaugh. Danny Murtaugh managed the Pirates on 4 separate occasions, took them to 2 world championships, won over 1,300 games as a manager. If you look at his resume, there are people with resumes that are less than his that are in the Hall of Fame, and I don't know why Danny Murtaugh is not. He needs to go in the Hall of Fame.
He may have spit on their shoes.
And the second, I believe, belongs in the Hall of Fame even before Dave Parker does. Al Scoops Oliver.
Ooh.
If you look at his major league career and his statistics, what he brought to the table, he is definitely Hall of Fame worthy. And
we'll agree to disagree on that one.
What's that?
I will agree to disagree.
Well,
on that
okay,
one.
but what do you know about Al?
No,
Oliver's career?
I'm talking about Dave Parker. I'm talking about Dave
No,
Parker.
he was
Well,
talking
if
Al
you
Oliver.
have-
He said he deserves to be for Dave Parker. So I agree to
Absolutely. Every day of the
disagree.
week, look at their stats. Compare them. Compare them. Do it sometime, and you'll see what I'm saying.
I'll just put my 2 cents in. Dave Parker was one of the best major league players for over 5 years and was the first player to make $1 million. Didn't matter what color you were then.
And what an arm.
And had he not tried to snort the right field foul, he might have
Twice.
been in the Hall of
He did it
Fame.
twice. He snorted it twice.
Good job.
Good point.
But there you go. That's what's on my mind.
What question could he possibly?
And then finally, one second, and to top off the game Saturday night, Pirates were losing 6-0 going into the bottom of the 8th. They put a 5 spot up in the bottom of the 8th and loaded the bases in the 9th with the Mets ace reliever on the mound, loaded the bases, Jacob Stalling, clear the deck,
Cost me
cannonball coming, a grand slam to win the game. It was incredible to be there. 27,000 people. A majority of them were Mets fans, and there was nothing more satisfying than the minority of the people out shouting the Mets fans that had this look on their face that was just priceless when that ball cleared the wall.
And before Smoking Jim goes on a more positive note, because I know how we'll operate, friends of mine were at the game and the ball went right over their head and they're jumping around crazy. One of the 5 or 6 of the people that were out yelling the Mets, they were there. So what a great time they had, and for kids too.
Question.
Just a quick minority note.
Of course.
Yeah.
To Tony from Chick-fil-A.
Did I mention that my good friend, my friend, used to be a good friend.
Okay.
Troy
Well, we
Pa-
understand.
Troy Polamalu sent me an autographed picture. Now, he sent me pictures before, but this is the first autographed picture he sent me. And I had it appraised because I'm trying not to sell it. and with the frame and everything.
What'd they offer on
and
eBay?
The appraisal was around $2,000.
When are you selling it so you can pay
No, I'm
your...
trying not to.
When can you pay off your debts to the casino?
But if the Pirates keep hitting grand slams, I may have to. But hey, go ahead. Hey, congratulations, Troy, going into the Hall of Fame. I will not be there.
He didn't expect you there.
He keeps saying he wants me there.
You know, I thought you were there to see the Chin get in.
I would love to. He's going to be the last speaker.
Well, you'll be there for Troy. All right, we're going to move on.
Very important positions. I'll make it brief. Time.
No, we
But-
got a couple minutes.
We got a couple minutes.
We
So-
may end it with me.
So, 11 years ago, on June 2nd, Armando Galarraga was pitching for the Detroit Tigers. And he threw the infamous imperfect game. And I'm here to stretch my opinion and present my opinion. That should be considered a perfect game. You've heard of it?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, Armando Galarraga was a pitcher who was struggling to make the majors in 2010. He played for the Rangers before, then had a shot to be in the Tigers rotation. He got 26 outs, and then on the 27th out, the first base umpire blew the call. There was a ground ball to first base. Galarraga went over to cover. First baseman threw to Galarraga, and they called the umpire, Jim Joyce, called the runner safe.
Is that the one that Stephen A. Smith said needs an interpreter, or no?
Maybe? I don't know.
No, this was, tell him how many years ago.
This was about 11 years ago.
Yeah, thank you, Smokey.
The only complaint I have about that is if Harvey Haddix did not get credit for throwing a 12 inning
Yeah.
no-hitter into the 13th inning.
Well, that's different. That's
he
a tie
made
game.
But that was 9 innings of no-hit baseball.
But
And he doesn't get credit for it.
No, hold on. Now the Tigers are winning that game. Tigers are winning the game that they were playing in, and they ended up winning the game. It was like 3-0. And there's no ripple effect they have to worry about for those calls. 'Cause if you go through and replay every play in that game, all the outs were recorded successfully. There's no call didn't happen in the 7th inning. Call happened the final out of the game. If you overturn that call, the perfect game is complete. No ripple effect to worry about. And again, every play before that was clean and made without any discrepancy.
Ding, ding.
But the only problem with that is, if you overturn that call, then how many other bad calls do you want to go back in history and change?
Well, no, this one's different because it was the last call of the
Because
game.
you're opening up Pandora's box there. Because if you do it for one, you have to do it for them all.
How many games can you recite off the top of your head that there was a blown call that impacted a moment in history for the last play of a game?
You know what? If I sat there and thought about it, and I'm not off the top of my head, I bet you there's hundreds.
I gotta agree with Nick on this one.
Where every play in a game was clean, called perfectly, and then the one call at the end.
But
No,
you
we're
can't
talking
make
about the
exceptions.
one play getting overruled in general. I've seen a bunch of games. I can't tell you exactly how many where they made a bad call, completely a bad call, and I don't know
But in
about
the middle of the game, or like the last
it
out
could,
of the game.
it's not the last
You
out,
can't,
Right.
but it's still how do you change
this is
one?
kind of like you can't get a little bit pregnant. If you're going to do one, you have to go back and revisit them all.
You don't
And
have
you
to.
Don't, no,
I
and
agree
you
with Nick.
shouldn't.
You don't have to.
You shouldn't. But
that
the
man,
record is what it is.
His career went downhill after that moment. The guy had one moment in the spotlight to shine.
But that's not going to
and be
make it. It's
embedded
not
in
going to bring
history.
his career back.
No.
Sure, it won't, but it also won't impact any other moment in baseball history if you just focus on that one.
I'm with
because
you,
it's
Nick.
a very special, unique circumstance.
Yeah,
I'm
but
with
you
you.
can't selectively change the outcome of something.
Sure, you
after
can.
it's
Why
been-
can't we?
Because it's the last out of the game. You got it.
'Cause they
Nick,
went
that's
by the
just not
rules.
the way things are done.
Well,
No, they went by the
if
rules,
replay
right or
were-
wrong.
If replay didn't exist now, I'd be like, okay, maybe not. But this instance is just so specific. And again, every call before that was made correctly. There were no weird calls. There were no wrong calls.
You're
That game was
making a
called-
good defense for it,
Yes.
but there's no parameter or rule that allows for what you want to happen.
I think there should be. I think that
No,
Major League
there isn't.
Baseball-
I'm saying right now there isn't.
But there should be. That's my argument.
Okay.
Al Levine, the
Change
talking
it.
machine. I agree with Nick on
No,
this.
he makes a good point, but there's nothing to
Last
do
out.
at this time about it.
Right. I'm just saying that they
He
should
knows
look
that,
into it.
Smoking Jim,
Yeah.
just because you try to help him out business-wise
I
and
appreciate
everything
the
else.
support, Smoking Jim.
We understand your bias
appreciate the
here,
support.
and you got friends with white
And
guys.
Nick, if pigs had wings, they would fly.
Yes. Well, Nick, thank you for the potential on that. And we're going to go to my segment and probably end the show because maybe Smoking will have a question. On location, a little delay there. We have boxing coming up, Moundsville, West Virginia, August 7th, 6 o'clock. I verified that.
Smoking Jim's driving.
Smoking Jim is picking up Nick and I at my house.
At 8 o'clock in the morning.
Well, we're hoping he gets there before 4 o'clock because I think it's about an hour drive. So if he shoots for like 3:30, we may get him there on time. I'll have the equipment in the driveway. Nick will be parking in the back of my driveway. I'll move my new vehicle all the way out of the way because you're prone to making accidents, especially head on. Or hitting something,
like a
or not
magnet.
seeing something, even though you can see perfectly without your glasses, or having cataract surgery.
Car's got a gravitational pull.
So we understand that. Then Smoking Jim, I got to notify trainer, coach Jack Mook called me up or messaged me on Facebook. Would you like to be the talking machine on September 12th at 2 o'clock? We're going to do fights on September 12th at 2 o'clock. He'll give the details on where and when. We know the 2 o'clock, but we'll find out where. And Nick put it in his calendar, so we got some things there. Had a couple calls this week on possibly doing some shows on location. So we're definitely interested in it. If you're opened up and you can get us in there, we're interested in doing that. So thank you for the opportunities. And Smoking Jim, hope you had a good birthday on the 17th. This will extend your birthday out a little bit. And I know you'll be going to Pasta too. You may go when they have the prime rib again, but you have to make a trip.
The Bucks will win the championship tonight, mark my words.
Please stay Joey strong.